McGraw-Hill, purveyor of fine nationalist propaganda. A co-production of Van Gogh's Ear and Peter Falk's Eye. How to Use Classroom Films, a guide to teaching while hungover. Correlated with, but not necessarily causated by. Oh man, a James Brown-Richard Lewis collaboration? The theme song must be I Feel Neurotic.
The room lights are dimmed, the projector is running.
The students are sleeping.
Become a setting for use of a very effective teaching tool,
Hypnosis.
classroom film.
Wait, I got a workplace film by mistake. Hope you like Achievement USA.
And how well they learn it rests largely with how the film is used.
It should be fed to them intravenously.
We've constructed an electric motor from a few simple materials. Let's review what happens by looking at a diagram.
The world's first Let's Play of Pong.
Like all magnets, it has a north pole and a south pole.
So we're just going to watch an educational film inside this informational film? Educationception?
An electromagnet.
Played by Jamie Foxx, Andy, and McKellen at the same time.
The wire is attached to wires leading to a dry cell.
Dry cell is just a myth.
When current starts to flow, the coil becomes an electromagnet with north and south poles.
I don't believe in north and south poles. I'm a flat magnet
These poles of the electromagnet are attracted by the poles of the permanent magnet, and the block of iron turns.
The block of iron turns.
The current in the coil, by changing the dry cell connections, the north and south poles in our electromagnet reverse. This puts two north poles together.
I'm seeing double. 4 Santas.
Since like poles repel each other, the electromagnet rotates until opposite poles are attracted to one another.
Yeah, when does Dr. Hubber throw the ping pong balls?
If we add the automatic switch to our diagram, it will look like this.
Hold on, I'm barely handling this and you're
If the
adding
wires are
things?
connected to the dry cell, the motor will continue to rotate in one direction.
And we rotate all night to the best song ever. Man, was Bill Nye always this boring?
Class concerned with how an electric motor works.
They're really concerned. It's keeping them up at
A
night.
complex process in simple, understandable terms.
Yeah, those kids definitely look like they understand what's going on.
Has proved itself an effective and valuable teaching aid. This is particularly true when the film has been carefully selected for content.
Gotta make sure they don't have cuss words.
Correctly prepared for viewing the film. Activities which follow the film are also important.
And after film kegger.
Such as a post-film discussion.
Now,
Christian Brune.
can someone explain to me the function of one of the basic parts of the electric motor? Danny.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong class. I thought this was English lit.
That automatic switch, the part called the commutator, the motor would make a complete revolution.
Do you all agree with Danny's statement?
You're gonna side with that idiot?
Yes, I do. Because
I'm
on the
Spartacus.
diagram, you could see that the commutator reverses the current. If it didn't, the motor action would stop.
All right, now, from what we've seen in the film and talked about, can someone give me the definition of a commutator?
A communist commentator?
Definition.
A commutator is a device for reversing the direction of a current.
I'm not going to dignify that with a response, Sharon.
Information and to stimulate deductive thinking.
But it won't stimulate interest.
Of content is as much a part of using a film as the actual showing of it. For a film,
Tell me, do I look more like Peter Lorre or John Aston?
Only a teaching tool, and depends for its greatest effectiveness on how it is used by the teacher.
Meanwhile, on the set of a Flip Wilson
Begins
sketch,
days, perhaps even weeks prior to the showing, when the teacher selects the film. The director of her local instructional materials center can often provide helpful advice about which of several films in the same subject area will best suit the teacher's purpose.
I don't think The Great Dictator is appropriate for children. Let's show them Birth of a Nation.
Of course, one may have to rely on the resume in a catalog to determine a film's content.
Let's see, film. Your resume says you worked for 6 years at the ArcLight. Looks like even films need redundant cover letters with their resumes.
Not a hit or miss affair, but keyed to a lesson plan and made on the basis of the best information available about a film. The next step you, as the teacher, take in using a film is to become familiar with it yourself.
Intimately.
If the film is available to you for only a short time, you may have to limit your own preparation to studying the teacher's guide for the film if it is available.
But that's still paying closer attention to a film than CinemaSins does.
Here you will find usually a more complete description of the film's content than is possible in a catalog or file, along with the questions you may want to ask following the showing of the film.
God, I hate her.
Comments from previous users of a particular film, if they are available, are also helpful.
Be sure to browse the film's reviews on Letterboxd.
An ideal way to study a film and prepare to use it with your class is to preview it, with pencil in hand, taking notes as the film progresses. It can be a real help to have one or more of
Hey, Kristen Wiig as Gilly.
room with you. As they watch from a viewpoint which is different from yours,
Ignore them. You're the grown-up.
unusual words or situations which may require explanation before the film is shown to the group. They may also reveal interests a teacher may use to motivate the entire class.
All right, thanks for coming to the test screening. Please fill out your comment cards.
You didn't understand?
Well, I don't understand why the farmers and cattlemen had to fight so much.
The farmer and the cowman should be friends.
Settle and plant their crops in the areas where the cattlemen were located.
How about you, Mary? Any words you didn't understand?
Well, blooded something.
Blood on the
I
saddle.
think it was.
Creative teachers have many ways of developing class readiness for seeing a film. Preparation often starts the day before. Unusual words may be defined beforehand.
These are all perfectly cromulent words.
You recall that yesterday we talked about the problems of settling this large area of our country known as the Great Plains. Today we're going to see a film.
A very
that shows
racist
those
film.
Problems very clearly. Of course, when the Great Plains were being settled in the 1850s and 1860s, the movie camera had not yet been invented.
So this film was crafted by a woodpecker who turned to the audience and said, "It's a living."
And drawings made by artists who were there at the time. Now, Kathy, do you recall the problem about the Plains area that we discussed yesterday?
Well,
The biggest problem was the lessons erasure of the genocide involved in the so-called settling. There really should be some sort of critical theory to put this stuff in a more complete
we
context.
decided that this situation kept many people away who might otherwise have come and helped to settle the Great Plains.
Yes. Very good summary, Kathy.
I think I wasn't listening.
We're going to learn about some other problems that faced these people.
Mostly hygiene related. It was an ugly time.
Afterwards, I want you to be able to identify and discuss the problems and to describe how the eventual solution of these problems affected our country's history. All right, let's have the film.
I hope this film never stops showing us other films.
It wasn't like the days when cowboys fought Indians. Between cattlemen and farmers, nobody had the what for to make the difference.
What?
Both had 6 shooters and both could use them.
Yes, because both had guns, nobody had the what for to make that genocide difference this time.
Some tried a thorny hedge.
Not to be confused with the horny The Edge, always chasing those U2 groupies.
Pig tight, horse high, and bull strong.
God, Bravo Farms isn't this
More
folksy.
to grow. Others tried just plain old wire.
Plain wire or cinnamon raisin wire or maybe an everything wire.
And the search continued. The search for a fence that would combine the low cost of wire with the thorns of a hedge.
The haunting acoustic barbed wire theme. And here's a rack of ninja throwing stars. Okay, here's Elwood. Now where's Jake's contribution?
In 1874,
The Philadelphia Zoo opened. We could be looking at much more interesting animals than cows.
granted a patent for a barbed fence wire that worked. The following year, Jacob Hayes received
So these illustrations are teaching us how to braid friendship bracelets?
wire. Both methods were practical and inexpensive. The West got its fencing.
Yeah, just get to the part where Ben Franklin shakes Mark Twain's hand.
To the railroads. And there were some who resisted the changes on the plains brought about by barbed wire.
Mysterious mechanical monster loots bank. House of Jewels exhibit opens today.
Fence cutters. But the bark of 6 shooters diminished. Laws were passed to protect both sides.
Both white sides.
Barbed wire turned out to be a blessing to the cattlemen, too. They had built their industry on the native Texas longhorn, a tough, mean, ornery critter, as tough on the table as he was on the range.
Yes, but were there purple cows?
The cattlemen could separate their herds, introduce blooded stock, and supply the demand for better beef.
Just waiting for the invention of impossible meat.
The railroad, the Colt revolver.
Trains and guns, the only things that worked at opening day Disneyland.
New ways of farming dry land.
Dry land is just a... Oh, wait, I already referenced that.
Enabled our country to settle the vast interior, to turn what was once the great American desert into rich, fertile farmland.
Ugh, sorry you had to see that, kids. I don't know what I was
Give me
thinking.
some reasons why the invention of barbed wire was so important to the development of the Great Plains.
Well, it stole the MST3K movie's advertising budget.
Well, the
Are all these kids Reagan impersonators? Stop starting sentences with well.
supposed to be, and the farmers could do more farming and less fighting.
Yes, and this was the only kind of wire fencing ever invented that could do the job, wasn't it?
You tell us, teacher.
Wooden fences. Karen?
There wasn't.
Of course, one of those boomer students was named
That's
Karen.
right, Karen. Now I think it might be interesting to find out why there was no wood available in the Great Plains area. This will take some research. So Karen, you, Betty, Tom, and Alan prepare a report on this.
The high of watching a movie in class and the low of preparing a group project back to back.
Who would like to find out more about the benefits the barbed wire fencing made possible for the cattlemen? Bob?
Help me, I'm in a different dimension.
Phil mentioned something about separating the herds and introducing blooded stock. I'd like to know more about this.
Okay, Bob. You team up with George, Bessie, Elaine, and Frank on that question.
3 Seinfeld characters and one of the cows from the film.
Activities profitably. The objective should always be to use the film as a springboard to learning, understanding, and creating. Assigning a research project on a topic related to the film will help the student to form relations of ideas, concepts, and facts, and thereby provide creative learning experiences.
It's no use, I'll never learn to draw Snoopy.
In any review of effective use of
Take your
classroom
seats,
film,
Jimmy's gonna tap
we
dance
should
to
not
Elvis.
overlook the importance of physical details. For example, proper arrangements for seating, lighting, ventilation, and placement of equipment.
There you go, kids, directly downwind of the asbestos pile.
Also, if you plan to run the film yourself, check ahead of time to make sure you are familiar with the projector and its operation, how to thread it, and how to operate the controls.
Okay, somehow I accidentally forwarded the film to my entire contacts
Where
list.
these details are handled by a student projectionist, it is still important for you to make sure that these arrangements are made beforehand. All these physical details may contribute or detract from the showing, and hence
they find their task is not a grind.
Tool. Remember also that since using a film is part of a creative process,
You should hire Shirley MacLaine here to run the projector. Now the film is showing itself again.
At which you put your creativity to work is in the selection of the film, choosing it for your purposes on the basis of your evaluation of it for the effectiveness with your students.
So what film did the people showing this film have to watch to teach them how to show this film?
The second point is the key to all the steps following it, your own preparation for showing the film. This is the point where you decide whether you will show the film all at one sitting or use only an excerpt which applies to the particular topic being studied.
Let's just break this film up into a
This
Quibi,
is the point at which you make final plans for how to use this teaching tool.
which you're supposed to be teaching us.
At the third point, class motivation,
Motivate some class solidarity. Teach your kids to
may
unionize.
be a simple procedure of telling your students the title of the film,
Title of the film.
of what they are expected to learn from it. Or it may be as elaborate as using other teaching techniques over several periods leading up to the showing.
Figure it out yourself. What, you want us to teach you how to use classroom films?
For the showing of the film,
This is me and the bull, and I think that's the bull's cousin. He's a
still
Cebu.
reflects your guiding role, particularly if you decide to repeat the showing of the film or to shut off the projector at a certain spot for a predetermined reason.
Or just on a whim.
At point 5, the creative teaching aspect comes into full
Play matchmaker with your kids and assign them prom dates.
all the follow-up activities which round out your purpose in using the film. Discussion, testing for content, research work, report writing, problem solving. Any or all of these post-film activities, plus many, many more that you will think of,
So stop asking us already.
and it is your contribution which is the single most important factor in using a classroom film.
And remember, always end your classroom films abruptly as hell. Good night, everyone. Paramount. Now that name applies to all of Viacom. There's no escape from this mountain.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
And oh god, he's promoting his new NFT. Everybody run for the hills. Superman in Technicolor? That's a weird name for a Superman short. Ooh, Bajillion Dollar Limited, my favorite CISO show. Ah, Mr. Toad just got run over. This is based on the Superman comic strip, not the comic books. This falls into the Superman newspaper continuity, so keep that in mind. It's going to come in very important. Son of Jor-El, need tell before Zod. Ooh, Timberg putting some extra flair on it this time.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Come on, everyone. We can pad out 30 more seconds without having to animate anything new.
Leap tall buildings at a single bound. This amazing stranger from the planet Krypton, the Man of Steel, Superman.
Wait, sorry. This is just the statue of Superman in the Looney Tunes Superstore at Magic Mountain.
Superman fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice, disguised as a mild-mannered newspaper reporter, Clark Kent.
While the real Clark Kent is locked in his basement. It's the largest single shipment of gold ever attempted by Lois Lane. By other reporters, all bets are off. I got my eye on you, newspaper. One false move, I start shooting. This is embarrassing. We all wore the same thing. You know, some orders might be a bit too big for Instacart. 6 miles away at the front of the train.
Sorry I can't go with you, Lois, but I have another story to cover.
Oh, that's all right, Clark.
Frankly, I'm annoyed that you even came to see me off. Now it's my turn to ask, what are you doing here? Okay, I'm lost. Apple Maps is worthless. Those bastards, they're gonna high beam Metropolis to death. Damn it, Steve, you couldn't put the mask on before we left. And once again, the entire Billy Zane cosplay club chose the Phantom. Evac's grandfather is on the scene. Gold for the merchandise. Gold for the button hooks. Goodbye, Clark. Get to that other story, Clark. Well, at least that wasn't suspicious. The train's going so fast it's changing the rotation of the Earth. Yeah, I always think I'm gonna get work done on my commute, too. After a fill-up at Goofy's Gas, they leave Toontown and continue their heist. So the car is also more powerful than a locomotive. So much for Superman being special. There's gotta be an easier way to get to Times Square. Runaway train, never going back. You bastards, I left my iPad in that car! Hey, does the train feel lighter to you? Ooh, Top Secret is starting. Sure wish we had some marshmallows to roast, Bill. A young Doc Brown watches, seething with jealousy. I just remembered I'm out of ink. Guns don't kill people, doors kill people. Damn it, let me merge, my exit's coming up. Well, I can fly a plane, so stopping a train is pretty low stakes for me. Aw, the car's crying. He hates these clocks! Ah, I'll throw this at them. I just miss Radiator Springs so much. Lois and Glock. Hey, bada bada bada, hey, bada bada bada, swing, bada bada, safe. Anyway, now to practice my rhythm exercises. Seth Green's hacking the traffic lights again. I gotta lower this bridge, no matter which chili pepper is under it. Whee! Drink more Ovaltine. And the script finally arrives at the Paramount offices. I mean, it's still on the track, so how wild can it really run?
This looks like a job for Superman.
I probably should have monitored the situation once I almost got run over by a car chasing the train, but I had another story to cover. And as soon as I'm done covering that other story, I'll try to keep an eye out for the train. We are definitely driving in circles. Ugh, I told you to go before we left. I know we're mid-heist, but I just gotta loosen some valves. Ooh, you gotta pay extra if you want to ride in the special explosives car. maybe this train will lead me to the one that's running wild. No matter, I'll just move the explosives out of the way. Or I'll bend the actual tracks that the train is actively on. That has way more margin for error.
Superman!
I thought this operation was too petty to draw his attention. We should have scheduled this while one of those mad scientists was distracting him. Yeah, the leaping's less impressive when we already saw you fly. Okay, so they're not trying to steal the gold for themselves. They just want to destroy it? Just commit some mild economic terrorism? Hold on, a Superman who actually prevents wanton destruction? That seems out of character. That is one heavy kite tail. Kryptonians have super precise track placement abilities. Pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon? Screw it, I'm out of ideas. Nerf missile! No, my one Kryptonian weakness. Things slowly ducking into holes. This is why I suck at whack-a-mole. Who knew train engines were so melty? And now they go backward into Everest, but the bad guys already broke the Yeti. Unfortunately, Superman's strength is inversely proportional to how much tension the scene needs. I think I can of steel. I think I can of steel. Ooh, this is my favorite Price is Right game. Meow, 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 meow. This is what it feels like walking through Ghost Town during Scary Farm. I wanted to save the box for later, but fine. Come on, guys, that's not fair. I have super asthma. Fortunately, he trained for this, trying to keep Krypto from chasing squirrels. Now his super dainty tiptoeing will save the day. Okay, the tear gas only helped a little. Let's raise the stakes to the weapon that famously has no effect on him. Did he just straight up run over those dudes? And due to this efficiency, all train engines were decommissioned and Superman had to personally pull every train forever. Oh, the government mint gets its own train station, but if I want to take a train, I need to find the bus route to Fullerton. And he quickly flees before having to talk to anyone. Relatable. Hooray, he saved the gold, and now the wealth can continue to not trickle down to the citizens.
Uncanny how Superman turns up just when you need him.
I didn't even get a chance to thank him.
Gosh, ain't I a stinker? Superman will return in the fallout from that other story Clark neglected to cover. Yeah, your gas company presents an assault on your ears. Apparently, my gas company wants to make a sandwich with me. Still not as weird as the time my water company invited me bowling. Well, this dramatic, serious, possibly patriotic music is sure putting me in the mood for a sloppy Joe.
The sandwich is practically an American institution.
That we stole from the British, but they stole everything too.
Parties and picnics. As far as these boys are concerned, well, hamburgers and hot dogs...
Yeah, they're taking the hot dog is a sandwich side. Bold move.
But there are sandwiches and sandwiches.
Very distinct options.
When Sally Gasco and her mother bring guests home for a late snack after a movie...
The Gasco family's name was changed at Ellis Island from the Utilities Co. family.
Sally calls it tuna rarebit. Let's watch how she makes it.
Be very, very quiet. I'm making whalebit.
This is a sandwich for fork.
Not fit for humans.
Space creation, in other words, with a cheese, milk, and tuna fish mixture on top.
It tastes the same way going down as it will coming back up.
The basis will be rye bread.
Or the Kaiser.
She found that the spicy caraway flavor made a good contrast to the bland fish and cheese.
Or you could just use better toppings.
They won't harden and curl when toasted, and so they'll be easier to eat later. She cuts them lightly with a knife.
Oh, she uses a knife to cut. I've been using the stand mixer.
Sally puts a cube, about a square inch, of butter into the top of a double boiler.
And drinks it raw.
Butter finds its way into a great many dishes in this kitchen.
At the King of Town's command.
But as a blending agent.
Blending agent, man. My children suck. I hate them so much. Oh, good work, honey. Very good work.
Part of the trick to entertaining unexpected guests is keeping on hand certain generally useful foods.
And spending an hour preparing them.
Cheese of an easy melting type, which Sally is going to use as a base for the rarebit. To speed the melting, she cuts this into slices in the milk and butter mixture.
Just desperately waiting out those last 2 years for the invention of Cheese Whiz.
The simmer flame keeps the water boiling gently while the cheese is melting, so that Sally can go on to other tasks.
I thought sandwiches were supposed to be easy.
Canned chunk-style tuna fish, and notice that she uses a wooden spoon to avoid discoloration of the mixture. Although the tuna rarebit is fairly substantial food in itself,
using all those words loosely,
add something for variation in color and texture.
Let's make things that aren't sandwiches.
Celery, radishes...
No! Celery, apples, walnuts, grapes!
Sally adds potato chips to the menu. They used to be exclusively picnic fare.
But finally, potato chips have broken through that glass ceiling.
Foods which make entertaining so much easier and more fun for teenagers.
Boy, we've been stuck here forever. Rotate to the next era already. Great big beautiful tomorrow.
Quickly in the broiler. And the rarebit is nearly ready to serve.
Just 8 more hours of preparation.
Let's see. What will be the beverage?
You tell us!
Mother thinks she'll give the guests a choice of Coke or milk.
Cake or death?
When you can offer guests a choice easily, it's a gracious gesture.
But they do not get to choose a better
Now
sandwich.
it's time to serve.
Sally adds the deadly nightshade and phase 2 of the plan begins.
And the filling, or perhaps we should say covering, goes on top.
These boomers just slather in crap on top of rye and then they blame us for avocado toast.
Dishes with extra caution. And effective carelessness here is no asset.
Yeah, wouldn't want to make that look ugly.
Mother is a great believer in the aesthetic value of parsley.
She attends the church of the aesthetic value of parsley every week.
Now a touch of Tabasco for color and a taste surprise.
Parsley and Tabasco doing a lot of heavy lifting here.
A la Sally Gasco. As we said, there are sandwiches and sandwiches.
And nothing in this film was a sandwich.
Using good techniques and equipment and a
The boys are just still eating burgers because if they ate the tuna rarebit, the filmmakers would have to give them hazard pay. Your gas company reminds you to just shove parsley in your guests' mouths. Boy, I really expected them to make a sandwich in Let's Make a Sandwich. Paramount, the reason studios aren't allowed to own theaters is named after us. Now check out our streaming service.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
Superman does whatever a Superman can. Is he strong? Listen, bud. He's got super Kryptonian blood. Oh, The Arctic Giant. Brad Bird finally got a sequel. Jerry insisted on Jerome for clout, but Joseph was like, just call me Joe. I just don't know if it's going to be the same without Isidore Sparber. To this day, Superman denies that he ghost-directed these himself. He lets Fleischer keep the credit.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Let's do this one last
More
time.
powerful than a locomotive.
But just barely, as we learned in the last
Tall
short.
buildings at a single bound. This amazing stranger from the planet Krypton. The Man of Steel.
I prefer my men of aluminum.
Superman. Possessing remarkable physical strength, Superman fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice, disguised as a mild-mannered newspaper reporter, Clark Kent.
Fighting for truth while disguised as an occupation half the country no longer trusts.
Penetrating deep into the frozen wastes of the great Arctic plain,
I'm the new narrator, by the way.
expedition searching for prehistoric fossils makes an amazing discovery.
Martin Short appears to say this isn't what Canada's really like.
Like in appearance as when it roamed the Earth millions of years ago in the Mesozoic age.
Mesozoic, that's the Gungan pronunciation.
State of perfect preservation. Constantly handicapped by the hazardous sub-zero element.
Oh no, they're gonna dig up LeChuck.
Of tireless workers succeed in removing the mammoth creature.
Ooh, it's a mammoth? Is it voiced by Ray Romano?
The cased monster is loaded into the hold of a huge freighter equipped with a special refrigeration plant and brought to this country.
Fredonia.
Here in a specially constructed wing of the Museum of Natural Science.
Oh neat, they invented the Omnimax Dome.
Displayed to the public for the first time.
Anyway, that unrelated newsreel is done. Now on to the Superman cartoon. Yes, that most mammoth of creatures, the Tyrannosaurus. Reptar on ice looks different than I remember. Am I glad he's frozen in there and we're out here? Hey, when did Great Metropolitan Newspaper change its name?
And you mean to say that if the ice were permitted to thaw, there's a possibility the monster might still be alive? Thank you, Professor.
Yes, Chief.
Lois, there's a new angle on that frozen monster story.
A really silly angle.
See what's doing. They've got him in a special refrigerator.
Thank you, Lois. Meanwhile, in the cartoon spin queue.
Oh, Lois. Want me to go over there with you?
No, thanks. You'd probably faint if you saw the monster. You scare so easily.
You worthless piece of slime.
Maybe she's right, but Superman hasn't fainted yet.
Not that that has anything to do with me. I gotta remember not to think out loud.
Ken produces the necessary refrigeration. The control board is downstairs.
This is probably safe on the electric football shelf.
The entire plant is operated from this board.
Hey, it's dancing the oil can.
The thermometer must be watched constantly.
Which is why I'm not watching it while talking to you.
Prove dangerous.
Ugh, of course, the one time I'm talking to a pretty girl. Turn off the fridge to prevent the fridge from breaking and turning itself off. Beaker is caught on that spinning wheel.
Boy, what a story.
An expose on incompetent scabs who haphazardly place equipment and destroy the whole operation. Drip, drip, drop, little April showers. Hey, before you thaw me, you should know that I ate Captain America. Ding, 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 jackpot, we have a winner! Yeah, Tony Baxter swears this effect used to work, but nobody's seen it in years.
Outside, everybody. Step lively, please.
I mean, Step Lively Jeeves. That's my favorite extremely loose Wodehouse adaptation.
Please, folks, keep moving. We have to clear this room at once.
That's what he thinks.
I'm gonna take advantage of the short lines at the cafe. Unfrozen Dino Lawyer. Hey, what are these clothes that say property of Clark Kent doing on the floor here?
Hello, Chief. Send the riot squad. We're in trouble.
Crocodile Dentist. Give me John Hammond. I got a wacky idea for an amusement park. That is one Winsor McKay-ass dinosaur. And now that the oil can has made him unstuck, he can sing If I Only Had a Heart.
Hello, Planet. Give me the city desk. Hurry!
Better make it collect. Hey, it's the Hollywood Ripleys. Come on, dude, we specially constructed that wing for you. Look, up in the sky! Debbie, how could you possibly think that's a bird? The Toho Company is frantically taking notes. No, after you, I insist. The dinosaur does not support public transportation. It's important to know this going into the election.
Oh, I'm not crazy.
William Frawley? Christopher McDonald?
Proceed to pick the men at once.
Hey, who rode on my fruit by the foot?
Chief, Lois is in the museum.
Better get over there, Kent.
Right.
Thank you, Clark.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Even though it feels weird to be fighting an animal instead of a mad scientist or train robber. Ladies? Oh, no one's here. Yeah, being seen flying out of the newspaper building will really protect your reporter disguise. Oh, now you're just back to leaping? Did you guys hear something out here?
Lois.
I don't care about those other innocent bystanders, just Lois.
You'd better get back to your office where you'll be safe. I've got some work to do.
Yes, sir. And this the best story in years?
Lois, stop letting work control your life. Oh no, it's gonna awaken Megatron. This would be the best cartoon ever if the dinosaur had just gone down the dam like a water slide. Mr. T-Rex, tear down this wall. Sorry, Charlie, you did that voice better than me. Fortunately, the rock morphs to fit the shape of the hole, and the houses are only mostly damaged, with only 75% fatalities. Dudley is done politely asking you to floss. The bridge is a waterbed. This is why they had to redo the bridge at the entrance to DCA. The cars are so impatient, they're not even waiting for him to get the bridge secure before they drive over it. Listen, I know baseball is boring, but do we really need the T-Rex here to liven things up? Oh, sure, when the T-Rex does property damage, he's a menace, but when Superman does it, he's a hero. No thanks, ma'am. I don't want to pay for the photo pass. No, to get to the ground, you slide down its back. Didn't Fred Flintstone teach you anything? But Superman, I'm Intivore.
Now this time, stay put.
Yes, my lord.
Well, fine. See if I save you again. Who am I kidding? I can't quit you. This is a very odd adaptation of Gulliver's Travels. Oh yeah, it broke through a building, but it won't escape that ditch.
You showed plenty of courage getting that monster story, Lois.
Thanks, but where were you?
Me? Oh, I must have fainted.
He's just feigning that he fainted. Superman will return in the Blackfish-style documentary about the horrible way the zoo treats the dinosaur. The camera speaks. The galaxy has heard a mysterious broadcast, a threat of revenge in the sinister voice of the late Emperor Palpatine. Oh, good. Story by the cinematographer of Birth of a Nation. Great. Hello, friends. I'm your Vitagram Vegemin girl. Why the Babes in Toyland score?
Pop. Hello, Bill. Say, Pop, do you mind if I park my camera in your room tonight?
Park the camera in the hammer-a-yamra?
Thanks a lot. Go ahead, Joe. Right over there in the corner.
Nobody puts camera in a corner.
Kind of late tonight. Yeah, we were down at the opening of the Cocktail Parade.
Cocktail Parade is my Rat Pack cover band.
What a crowd. Cocktail Parade sounds like the good old days. Say, Bill, get a load of the cigar box. They used to call it camera.
Wait, is it September 17th? Australian Citizenship Day?
You really took moving pictures with that thing, do you? If that camera could speak, it'd tell you plenty.
And it'd give this film a premise.
Good night, Pop. Good night. So long, Pop.
Hey, Chief.
Zordon!
Say, Chief. Yeah? How do those young punks get that way?
Don't let that get on your skin.
This year's Halloween overlay for Mystery Lodge kinda sucks.
Gadgets and sissy trimmings can't stand the gaff like you did. You'll always be ace high with me.
Thanks, Chief.
Roy Disney?
They talked about covering the opening of that new picture, The Cocktail Parade. It brought back memories of the time we shot the grand opening of that first Prohibition picture, John Barleycorn.
Grandfather of Drew Barleycorn.
Yeah. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people went other places.
The earliest known Family Guy cutaway.
Away in droves. There were a few curious ones, however, who attended this powerful warning against the evils of bending the elbow.
An anti-aerobics film? Oh, it's not a real Jack London movie unless it stars Harrison Ford and a CGI Beethoven.
I'll never forget those intelligent-looking faces.
They were somewhere behind these idiots. It's a movie theater in 1914 and people are already lining up for Phantom Menace. Anyway, showing people outside a theater playing John Barleycorn is more interesting than showing scenes from John Barleycorn.
I'll never forget it.
I don't see how you can remember anything. You were full of firewater.
Really? This guy seems so sober.
Not to change the subject, but do you remember the time we shot the Fireman's Parade at Newburgh?
But we did not shoot the Deputies Parade.
And how the mayor burnt down the city hall and they're on it.
That was some day.
Help us, we got lost on the way to Achievement USA. Boy, Firehouse Subs delivery goes all out. This is really cheerful for a fireman funeral. Still a better parade than Fun in Balloon Land. What's all this then? What's all this then? What's all this then? What's all this then? Yes, it's the Backdraft High Marching Band. That little kid there has been in the department for 38 years. And they all trample Sideshow Bob.
It was only shortly after that we were assigned to feature productions.
They were the best days of my life, Chief. Meeting all those stars.
All 120 stars, rescuing Princess Peach.
Got a kick out of it.
And they liked you, too. Remember the time Dorothy Dalton carved her initials on your back?
Yeah.
He's Gary Buseying.
And I've got dozens of other autographs, too. Look 'em over.
Check out my sweet tats.
Bessie Barriskin. And look, Gloria Swanson and Bobby Vernon. And here's an initial carved by Charlie Ray when he played with Dorothy Dalton. One of his first pictures.
Now this film is riffing other films. I have once again lost my job to automation.
Charlie's on his way to meet Dorothy Dalton.
She's the tall one.
The voluptuous sweetheart of the old-time cinema.
The first drive-through car wash. Why did I vacation to the dead marshes?
Charlie is in love with Dorothy. She certainly has him on the run. In fact, she has him in the air.
Pizza run! Da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na.
Comfortable is waiting for Charlie in the swamp.
Charlie in the Swamp, the original Billy on the Street.
He is now burning with passion. I hope his celluloid collar doesn't catch on fire. Don't forget your rubbers, Charlie.
A message from the Safe Sex Council. Nosferatu's living cousin, Yesferatu.
And a pain in the stomach. You couldn't tell whether it was love or indigestion.
That's what Kuleshov is for.
And there they were.
The backside of water.
Idols of the masses. Standing.
That's where Norman Bates sank Marion Crane's body.
Knees. Too bad the water wasn't deeper.
Man, this ghost haunting this camera is sadistic. And baby makes 3.
I wonder if Gloria Swanson remembers her slapstick days when her clothes were furnished by Sears Roebuck instead of a Parisian modiste.
Look, if Sears Roebuck is good enough to sponsor Mr. Rogers, it's good enough for you.
But even then, Gloria showed signs of the glamour she possesses today.
So dogs will give you an axe, but not keys.
Hey, who was that guy Houdini?
That was Ulan Kalufid's 4th book.
There she is trying to put on the dog. I said trying.
Before animal or child safety was invented.
No, it was only a Swanson dive. The whole place is leaking. I hope the baby's all right.
Ugh, why did that sound so much more sinister than his desire to drown that young couple in love?
And Teddy caught it and took it to our hero, Bobby Vernon.
Wait, no, this is a ventriloquist dummy of Edward G. Robinson.
Going places in those days. And made a big splash doing it.
Come on, gang, back into the small world boat. Yeah, that's the face of a woman who wants to be kissed.
They were a great bunch of troopers.
When TikTok filters go horribly wrong.
They had everything. Romance, drama,
Reality shows about housewives.
comedy.
But no Mae West.
No Mae West?
No Mae West.
1 a penny, 2 a penny, no Mae West.
Don't you remember Louise Glom? She was the Mae West of the vampire age.
That age only lasted a
She was
weekend.
the vampiest vamp of them all. That is, horizontally speaking.
The Sunset Boulevard prequel, Midday Avenue.
And many a fool there was longing to get caught in her web.
I hate it when the dub doesn't match the subtitles. Come with me and you'll be in a world of slavish degradation.
Don't worry, folks, that's not passion, just a little acid.
Oh, the Hays Code won't like that either because it implies gluttony.
Pardon me, Mrs. Vampire, there's a fool outside to see you. The old-time movie vamp always liked to have a little fool around.
Hey, you can't say fool around back then. The answer, an example of the spider's prowess. Bleep. He who was John Morton? Correct. I'll take movie vamps for 600.
A businessman until he met Louise. After that, just a businessman. Exhibit A. He looks more like L.
I don't get it, but he actually looks like PFT.
I used to get a great kick out of those fiery speeches.
Remember William Jennings Bryan?
Do I?
He was delicious.
It's funny. Now, very thing he fought for is now a major item in the present-day recovery plan.
What's that?
Silver.
Joel Silver, the economy can only be saved by the producer of Xanadu.
I can picture Brian now.
Asking out Strong Bad.
The silver-tongued orange.
Oh man, I knew we were too late to get a good spot for World of Color. You gotta admit, I played this stinking city like a harp from hell. Oh God, is he still pretending he won the Scopes Monkey trial?
It was here that William Jennings Bryan said, the populist platform adopted by the National Convention of 1892 contained these words.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Coinage of silver and gold at the present legal ratio of 16 to 1.
$16 to 1. That's funny.
Funny that I'd set an alarm for such an obscure time just for a bad pun. Well, time to prove my Australian citizenship. Vitaphone has officially run out of old footage, so good night. Pepper Potts directed this? Man, the MCU really is inescapable. Paramount, we're not even worth joking about now with all that crap Warner Brothers is pulling.
Up in the sky! Look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
This crowd does this every week, and it still takes them 3 tries to realize it's Superman. Oh yeah, this was that era when the Rocketeer became one of those Second Amendment weirdos. Action Comics and Superman magazines in this economy? Graham Place is what I say when I forget the words Castle Daventry. I wonder if the crowd stuck around to read the credits.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
So he'll be faster than a Bulleteer, too. That takes care of any stakes.
Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Able to reuse animation in a single cut.
The Man of Steel.
Dang automation putting the Men of Bronze out of work.
Possessing remarkable physical strength, Superman fights a never-ending battle for...
Never-ending? Superman's not going to see retirement? Maybe he is a millennial.
Clark Kent.
I guess I should get back to that battle if it's, never-ending. Sounds like Beauty and the Beast live on stage is starting. The Random Nighttime Buildings playset comes with everything you see here. Hooray, the Bulleteers say ACAB. Were the cops storing 4th of July fireworks? Bullet Car is the direct-to-video spin-off that couldn't get Brad Pitt.
Send in Lois Lane and Clark Kent.
And hire a 3rd reporter someday. And they're already scowling at each other. Oh, wait, you're Clark Kent? I was thinking of someone cooler.
Attention.
Whoa, the answer is literally blowing in the wind.
Today was only a small demonstration of our power.
Why do they always put the most bored-sounding guy on PA duty?
Higher funds of the city treasury.
Shh, Chernobog is sleeping.
Plants, firehouses, and all municipal buildings will be next.
We want the money, Lebowski!
This is your last warning.
And they laughed when I built a retractable microphone into a desk. Wait, City Hall is literally just a big hallway?
What are the authorities going to do about this, Mr. Mayor?
Metropolis Mayor Hank Hill.
Intimidated by criminal threats. Law and order must and will prevail.
Well, unless NBC cancels it again. Anyway, this guy Instacarted 63 sacks of flour, so we better get going. Hey kids, it's me, Riley the Rifle. And me, Gary the Gun. Come join the Bulleteers. Hey, a full team of the Jay Garrick version of the Flash is on duty. Wait, that's it! The Bulleteers only attack on nights that the clock strikes! Metropolis, she wrote. I don't have to stand for this sarcasm, putting quotes around our name. Ah, this room looks easy to animate. Oh. why do they even have a single rider line if they're not going to fill every available seat? Turns out they're riding an actual bullet. The Bulleteers are like an inch tall. They're just Lilliputians. The original rocket rods was far more impressive. Sure is handy we found this fully working hideout under Wayne Manor, boss. Searchlights? I thought this was Paramount, not Fox.
The Bulleteers!
Hey, why do you get to have the title line, Terry? Oh, Larry boy. Where we're going, we don't need roads full of cops shooting at us. Yeah, I drive my car with a microscope. What of it? It cost them $53 a minute to use the wings. Whoa, Bullet Car had a few too many. So their evil scheme is just firing a missile, except one they have to ride in, rendering it less effective than a normal missile. Boy, Fleischer Studios loved animating gauges. Are they hijacking the $1 billion Limited again? And slide into first. Meanwhile, across from Rick's Cafe...
The presses have stopped. The presses have stopped.
When did the Daily Planet hire Paul Revere? Suck it, Clark. I hope I ran over your foot.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Actually, it's too dark to look like much of anything right now. All right, I hope there's another dinosaur this time. My big-ass diesel punk car ought to stop them. I let you hit those other buildings, but now you're going after money. I have to defend the American way, specifically capitalism. And now rehearsals for Dick Tracy the Musical. Beep, beep, get off the road. For crying out loud, Lois, stop parking in the red zone. Oh, Lois is just waking up. The debris put her to sleep like a bird. Nice of the cartoon to do its own Rule 34. I've got super speed, but crawling slowly is more fun. Surrender Dorothy? Oh no, gravity decided to work on him. That wasn't the bullet car. Superman misjudged his landing and broke everything. Hey, it's Lois Ferratu. Oh, it's been like a week since I've climbed into anything dangerous. I'm itching for a fix. Gasp! The bad guys are in the place that the bad guys were last seen. Psh, my plane's way better than this one. Oh crap, it's a Spirit Airlines flight. Run, Lois! Giant frozen cheese blocks, my only weakness. I know I dropped my AirPods somewhere. Hey, there's a girl stuck in the window. Come here, honey, let's find your parents and get you home. There's a Superman on the wing of the plane. That's a really clean retraction considering the damage done to the wing. I can't do this all on my own. Wait, yes I can. I am Superman. I'll open a pop top and blow out your flip-flop. Time for that jolly juggler, Bulleteer. 3 at once. Hey, there's stuff happening in the shot of the ground this time. So the bullet car can survive crashing through several buildings, but it's no match for a prairie.
Nice going, Lois. Another great scoop for you.
It was easy. Thanks to Superman.
And I guess thanks to the Bulleteers, too, couldn't have reported on their crime without the crime. Superman will return in the Bulleteers, where he faces off against a young Billy Ray Cyrus. The fabulous Mr. Alfred Hitchcock is about to escort you to the prom. All your dreams are coming true. Psycho trailer. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Good afternoon.
Couldn't wait for evening, huh, Hitch?
Here we have a quiet little motel, tucked away off the main highway.
For people who can't ride it all night long.
And as you see, perfectly harmless looking. when in fact
it's a travel lodge run for the hills.
Known as the scene of the crime.
Odd rebrand for a motel, but everyone needs a gimmick.
This motel also has, as an
adjunct professor of religious studies,
an old house
in Paris, all covered in vines.
Which is, if I may say so, a little more sinister looking.
Yeah, and behind that there's a big plane crash, and behind that there's supercharged. The disasters just get worse and worse.
The most dire, horrible events took place.
A gender reveal party. There were no survivors.
I think we can go inside because the place is up for sale, although I don't know who's going to buy it now.
Who knew the H in HGTV stood for Hitchcock?
In that window on the second floor, the single one in front.
Ah, yes, Alfred Hitchcock's front window.
Was first seen. Let's go inside.
I am digging this new direction for MTV's Cribs. We had another one of these on the East Coast, but some purple dinosaur dances on its grave.
You see, even in daylight, this place still looks a bit sinister.
Just a bit, not all the way sinister.
I was at the top of these stairs.
To the top of the wall, now dash away.
Murder took place. She came out of the door there and met the victim at the top.
For dinner and drinks.
Of course, in a flash, there was the knife, and in no time, the victim tumbled and fell with a horrible crack.
And horrible rear projection.
Hit the floor. It's difficult to describe the way that... The
Rubik's Cube is solved, but it's something like this.
I won't dwell upon it. Come upstairs.
Oh, fancy seeing you here.
Or should I say victims, hadn't any conception as to the type of people they would be confronted with in this house, especially the woman. She was the weirdest and the most... Well, let's go into her bedroom.
Weirdest like Weird Alfred Yanko Hitchcock?
Here's the woman's room.
It's always so much fancier than the men's room.
Beautifully preserved. And the imprint of her figure on the bed where she used to lay.
Boy, that memory foam remembers everything.
I think some of her clothes are still in this wardrobe.
My mistake, it's just a passage to Narnia. Be glad I'm not showing you this in color. All the pastels to make it look good in black and white would overwhelm anyone but Wes Anderson.
Bathroom.
Do not go in there. Whoa.
This was the son's room, but we won't go in there because
he's busy playing Fortnite.
Was the little parlor behind his office in the motel. Let's go down there.
Look, Hitch, you can keep showing us around the Universal lot, but if you don't start flying, I want my money back.
This young man, you had to feel sorry for him.
Being recast with Vince Vaughn,
dominated by an almost maniacal woman, was enough to drive anyone to the extreme of, well, let's go in. Well, I suppose you'd call this his hideaway.
You lucky people, you.
His hobby, as you see, was taxidermy. Crow here.
Oh, snap, it really is the tiki room.
Now, an important scene took place in this room. There was a private supper here.
The young man said, one of you will betray me.
Oh, by the way, this picture has great significance.
Apparently not enough significance to warrant a close-up so we can make out what the picture is.
Let's go along to cabin number 1. I want to show you something there.
Oh my God, Hitch, finish a sentence or get tested for ADHD.
All tidied up.
But if the maid thinks I'm leaving a tip, she's crazy.
The bathroom.
Well, this one's unoccupied.
Well, they've cleaned all this up now. Big difference. You should have seen the blood.
Chocolate syrup everywhere.
The whole place was, well, it's too horrible to describe. Dreadful. And I'll tell you, there's a very important clue was found here. Down there.
Val Kilmer popped his head out when trying to escape a German prison.
The murderer, you see, crept in here very slowly. Of course, the shower was on. There was no sound. And,
Wait a minute. Either these curtains go or I do. It was a screamer video this whole time. Damn pranksters. And Janet Leigh as the Beaver. Oh man, I was hoping this movie would defy our preconceptions of linear time. A Paramount picture that Universal's gonna spend the rest of its life taking credit for.
Thank you so much, Dinah.
Not Dinah Shore, he's thanking the cat from Alice in Wonderland.
You can do all your Christmas shopping under one roof.
Take it from me, the hybrid of Gail Gordon and John
Shopping
Waters.
headquarters for cars with a choice of 30 different models.
Here's one model, the mannequin, not the car.
The beautiful Bel Air 4-door sedan.
Perfect for mom getting scared after one little fight.
Can't you just see Aunt Agatha's face when she finds this on Christmas morning?
After she yells at Bertie Wooster, "Hey, you're not Kim Cattrall."
It's jet smooth ride. And here we have the new Corvair Coupe.
You don't know what I got.
Its new lower price makes this Corvair just the thing if you have a wide circle of friends to remember.
He said that suggestively, but I have no idea what he's suggesting.
Your sister-in-law will be visiting you with all her, delightful children.
We all hate our relatives, right?
This might be nice. Chevy's Brookwood 9-passenger station wagon. She'll be so anxious to drive it. The children will be so eager to enjoy the rear-facing third seat. They may leave early.
And if we leave it open like this, they'll fall out and die. Hooray!
Appropriate for, safety your child's favorite teacher.
We've really milked this premise as far as it can go. We're running out of acquaintances to joke about giving cars as a stocking stuffer.
In the rear. And with the engine here, she can count on magnificent traction through snow and ice.
And a killer explosion once rear-ended.
And up front?
A cardboard snowman. Unfortunately, the only thing you're allowed to park near.
A lockable trunk. Very practical for all those apples she gets.
I'd like to see a doctor even try to come near her.
Been wondering what to get the boss for Christmas?
How about a resignation letter?
Wonder? No more. This Impala convertible will show him that...
You see him as a modern Vlad the Impaler.
Arguments. You still think the world of him.
Yeah, I'll buy my boss a car. Great. An obscure brand from deep in the past.
You're beautiful. You make me feel my Barbie doll is really real.
Nope, you just imagined having toys.
Small and so petite. Her clothes and figure look so neat.
She'll cause disorders when I eat.
At parties she will cast a spell. Purses, hats, and gloves galore. And all the gadgets gals adore.
Gadget Gal Gadot, a robot who sings Imagine?
Her lovely fashions range from $1 to $5.
This has been the voice of the patriarchy making my cameo appearance.
Someday I'm gonna be exactly like you.
Yep, no harmful messaging here.
I know just what I'll do.
Cry a lot?
Barbie, beautiful Barbie. I'll make believe that I am you.
And all the murders will be in your name. I expected more from Greta Gerwig. Wait, don't pull back. I'm trying to see the magic guy.
Just nothing like ice skating.
Except rollerblading, I guess.
Fun way back in our grandparents' day, and it's still the favorite winter recreation.
Are those two on a date in Mr. Ed's barn?
Everywhere. Now, time hasn't changed the fun of ice skating.
What has is breaking both legs crashing into a Zamboni.
Rest up and refresh. And for fast refreshment, there's just nothing like a frosty bottle of Coca-Cola.
Skate around on the precarious ice holding a glass bottle. What could go wrong?
Sparkle. Coke has a distinctive flavor that's never been equaled.
Don't listen to us when we change our tune on that in the 80s.
Refreshed so quickly. For Coke offers a bit of wholesome energy.
It's drugs, the wholesome energy of drugs.
Just when you need it. In any season. Enjoy bracing, ice-cold Coca-Cola.
And threaten to burn the place down if they ask if Pepsi is okay.
There are times every day as you work or you play when a pause would be welcome to you. And it's
So does this jukebox have any songs that aren't commercial jingles, or...
We'll do 50 million times a day.
And if you're counting Vanilla Coke, a good 20 or 30 million of those are me.
There's nothing like a Coca-Cola, nothing like a Coke.
You hear that, RC? I can feel my teeth rotting.
Yes, 50 million times a day. At home, at work, or on the way.
On the way to the doctor to treat your severe dehydration from only drinking soda.
Coca-Cola. The most asked for soft drink in the world.
There's nothing like a Coca-Cola, nothing.
So this is what that polar bear looks like when you shave his fur, huh? Cindy Brady?
When I grow up, I want to be a mommy.
What Ben Shapiro dreams of children dreaming of.
Mommy right now with Ideal's Betsy Wetsy. Betsy Wetsy cries real tears.
She feels real neglect.
Her own bottle, just like a real baby. And you'll love the soft touch of her baby pink skin.
Baby pink skin is no longer found in a pack of Crayolas.
Betsy Wetsy wets and needs to be changed.
You knew what you were getting into, kid.
All the fun you'll have giving Betsy Wetsy her bath and shampooing her rooted saran hair.
Such
Your
thrill.
mommy to get you Betsy Wetsy, and then you can be a mommy too.
Start saving for your doll's college fund.
Ideal comes complete with layette in 4 sizes.
All of which are too big to fit in your playroom.
You'll find Betsy Wetsy and lots of other wonderful Ideal toys at your favorite toy department now.
I know we got some real selective toy department connoisseurs watching.
It's Ideal.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house...
When up from the ground came a bubbling crude. This is totally unbelievable.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with...
Light bulb just went off in the heads of the Sherman brothers.
St. Nicholas soon would be there.
Just gonna say it, Miss Hathaway can do better.
Nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads.
Dancing sweets make me hungry for bland cereal.
He sprang to his sleigh.
Skipped a few pages there, Jethro.
Gave a whistle, and away they all flew.
Is he doing an ASMR video now? The Beverly Hillbill ASMR?
Exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
I needed a happy ending like that ever since Mama Pearl mysteriously vanished, never to be seen again. But Kellogg's of Detroit wishes you nothing.
Chatty Cathy, oh, Mattel's famous talking doll.
A doll that will never be ruined by effective and terrifying parodies.
And you say 11 different things. Let's play house.
You can be Robert Sean Leonard.
Please change my dress.
And make my bed and brush my teeth. Do it, slave!
Now you got a wardrobe full of pretty clothes.
Yeah, kind of an underwhelming follow-up to the talking.
For nursery school, you're crisp and cool.
Kids love being crisp.
For summer, there's a playtime set.
A K-Town stretch?
In winter, your collar's fur. In a coat as cute as you can get.
In that cold that Stephen King can get? Sing clearer.
Love your mamas, and they love you sleepy time pajamas.
Just pull the ring. You never know what she'll say next.
Tell me a story.
You never know what she'll say, you just know it'll be demanding.
Is a Chatty Cathy's made by Mattel.
You'll find Chatty Cathy and her costume set.
Whether you want to or not.
You can tell it's Mattel, it's swell.
Hell.
Kodak suggests a give and take Christmas.
They also suggest Epcot not build a Mount Fuji roller coaster, so why should I listen to them, Harriet? Can I just see the camera you used to take the picture of these cameras instead? Okay, stay right there while I gather blackmail on you. Does this hat make me look enough like Carl Reiner? Back when cameras were their own thing and not just an expected add-on of literally every device. Was that the Don DeFore? Kodak suggests give us money and we'll take it.
I'm sure all of us enjoy having Christmas pictures.
Even though last time I tried to take one, David and Ricky ran away so fast they knocked over the tree and started a fire.
That gift to those you love, so they can take pictures they'll always treasure.
Or boring, forgettable ones like this. Ozzy's just so proud he figured out how to push a button.
Happiest holiday season you'll ever remember.
Christmas decoration even more flammable than candles. No, more bicycle safety?
Hey, it's Hasbro. Hasbro makes toys.
I love my corporation friends.
Hasbro?
Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head with their own cars and trailers. That's what's new.
Pink.
See, Mr. Potato Head.
Although, to be fair, I can still imagine Rickles' voice coming out of that thing.
And shopping trailer for his wife, Mrs. Potato Head.
I have many questions, but shopping trailer?
Easy. Like this. Take any fruit or vegetable.
Grapes should work, right?
Eyes, then ears, and then the mouth.
What about the nose, head, shoulders, knees, and toes?
Looking people in the whole world.
Yes, do my dark bidding.
People look different every time you make them.
Until we realize it's more marketable to sell the body, too.
Trailers come in $1 and $2 sizes.
Size labeled by price, and people say the Starbucks sizes are confusing.
A vanity case with toy cosmetics and beautiful accessories and real-looking doctor and nurse kits.
Can't wait for Michael Bay to make those movies.
Toys. It's fun to play with Hasbro.
Finally, somebody made playing fun. Lucky Strike, the third series after Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies. Oh, Porky's looking good.
Friends,
Romans.
Here's a wonderful Christmas gift for anyone who smokes.
An inhaler.
Because it says, Merry Christmas and Happy Smoking 200 times.
If that backseat of the car didn't kill those kids, give them this. It'll do it.
Luckies, all done up for Christmas in a beautiful carton, created just for Lucky Strike by the famous designer, Mr. Raymond Lloyd.
Well, pardon me, all to hell.
Bright and colorful under your Christmas tree.
Just trust us on that.
It's a welcome gift to anyone who enjoys a good smoke.
Or 200 at once.
Smoking enjoyment is all a matter of taste.
Bad taste.
And the fact of the matter is, Lucky's taste better. Cleaner?
Well.
Fresher? Smoother.
Which was Raymond Loewy's deadliest design? Lucky Strike, Air Force One, or every oil company?
Christmas cartons of Lucky Strike.
Be happy, go lucky.
Wow, Marnie Nixon phoned that one in. That's all, smokes.